If my Father is a creator, what does that make me? A co-creator, right? In Genesis 1:28, and God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Our Creator created everything, but He distinctively created us humans. Not everything here on earth is human, and not everyone who poses to be human is human. The key words from the Bible verse we've just read, we have fruitful, we have multiply, we have subdue, we have dominate. How on earth have you been fruitful? What have you been multiplying? And what have you been dominating? Those are questions we should be asking ourselves this moment. What have you been creating? Your Father is a creator. Can a lion give birth to a goat? Does an apple fall far from the tree? If your Father is the creator, that makes you a co-creator. You are supposed to get into your creator mindset and be creating value that will improve your life and the life of the people around you. What have you been doing? You complain, you think it's all about the government. How many jobs do you think the government can create? The government is not a faceless entity. The government is an institution made up of people like you and I. The government cannot do anything. The government is nothing but the public sector of the country. What about the private sector? The private sector that needs creators, that need people with sound mind to bring out value from their mind into existence. What are you speaking into existence? What are you using your hands to build and mold into existence? What are you breathing the breath of life into existence? What are the values that you are creating that will affect, that will impact you and the people around you? A lot of us think money is the most important thing. Money is important. I will never get into that position to say money is not important. Money is important because it will give you that leverage to buy things and put like the resources that you need, right? Money is important. But the most important thing, right, is creating value, is creating wealth. And you can only get into that position when you realize, when you get to that point where you realize that you are actually a co-creator. And after creation, after our Father created us, He gave us responsibilities, He gave us duties, He gave us assignments. He asked us to be fruitful, to multiply, to subdue, and to dominate. Among these things, what have you done? And or what are you doing? What have you created in this life? Or you just here to consume what others are creating? This is Doualizer, organic Doualizer. Yes, I tap into the mindset of my Creator, my Father. All glory goes to Him. nothing comes to me. Nothing comes to me. All glory goes to the Creator. Tata Enzambe Etamandem, for giving me such a bright mind that can actually produce Douala, that can co-create Douala, that will be beneficial to humanity, that will repair and restore degraded soil. Yes, degraded soil. This is urban agriculture in Douala. That's green growing on its own. When you heal the soil becomes fruitful. The soil will multiply and the soil will start producing things that you thought you only have to plant, like grains. When I go about weeding, like I want to weed this my garden, I take note I don't weed everywhere. I don't weed everything, because I've come to realize that a product like Douala goes a long way to repairing and healing the soil, such that you will start seeing some very beneficial herbs, grasses, vegetables growing on their own. If I just sat there, I didn't get into my co-creator mindset, I wouldn't have brought out this value for humanity. It's already benefiting me, because right now, if I want to cook a ruminati, which is also another creation from my mindset, that ability put in me by my Creator that I'm using, I just have to come here, go around, I harvest some water leaf, I harvest some pepper, and whatever I need. The only project I did here that did not succeed was that snails. Yes, I had a lot of them die because of one or two reasons, which I will not want to mention now. But everything I've created in this space has been successful. They are multiplying, they are subduing, and they are dominating. So, my brothers, my sisters, it's not about going to a church to sow a seed. You are a creator. You don't need none of those. You need to be around people who can activate that co-creator mindset in you, for you to know that the earth is your dominion. And when we're talking about earth, you cannot be everywhere on earth at the same time. You can only occupy that space where you find yourself, where you're bound by time, right? That's where you can occupy, and that's earth for you. So how have you been fruitful within that space? How have you been fruitful or multiplying within that space? How have you been dominating or subduing that space? You don't have to sit in Cameroon and you think the only way for you to make it is when you get into America or you get to China or wherever. You're only going there to tap from what other people created. You, what value? Because the most important resource here on earth is human resource. The ton of human resources that are buried in you, that most of you will probably take them to your grave. Those are that's actually what is more important. Those are what are important. The human resources in you, buried in you. How are you bringing them out for the benefit of yourself before the people around you? How are you impacting their lives? Are you one of those who just sit and you think it's poor here? Are you one of those who just sit idly and you think it's the government? The government is not a faceless entity. The government is an institution that is made up of individuals like you and I. Just imagine yourself securing a job in a government office with the mindset that you have not changed, that is not you've not activated that co-creator mindset, and you're getting into that office. What difference would you bring to the table? everything will be the same. You'll be as insolent as that teller from Express Union who talks downly on clients. You'll be as corrupt or immoral as that government official who want to sleep with a boy or girl before giving them opportunity, because you have no value. You've not come to that position where you want to get even a ton of the human resources out of you. The government is nothing but the public sector. What about the private sector? We should be made up of co-creators like you and I. The private sector in Cameroon is weak because Cameroonians are consumers. They only want to consume. They only want to be employed. They don't want to create. They don't want to create employment. They don't want to create opportunities. The most important resource that we have here in Africa is the land. We have the land. We're taken out of the land. We're cast out of the land, and God did breathe into us the breath of life and made us living souls, co-creators, distinctively different from every other creation. We are the only creation or creatures that can co-create. We are the only creatures. The sun cannot create any other thing. The oceans, they cannot create any other thing. We are the only ones who can create. We can create. So we are actually the created creators. We are supposed to bring value here on earth. We are supposed to dominate the earth. We are supposed to subdue it. We are supposed to be fruitful. And being fruitful, we are supposed to multiply. And then we eat the fruits of our labor. It is a crime for anyone to be poor in Africa. It is a crime for anyone to sit there and just idle, and they're just hoping for some savior to fly from the skies to come and save them and take them to heaven. It is a crime. It is a crime